Hi everyone, welcome to the second section of this lesson. In this lesson, we're going to be looking at the step-by-step guide of how to use the Ansible ad-hoc command. In the previous lesson, we looked at what Ansible ad-hoc command is. We looked at how to use the Ansible ad-hoc command. We looked at the different modules we have, and we also looked at the way we can check out for more information about the different modules. So in this lesson, we're just going to go to the step-by-step guide of how to use the Ansible ad-hoc command. So this is the Ansible control node. What we want to do now is to get the duration the HQS dev1 node has been running, which is the managed node. So what we can do is to go to the Ansible directory. So don't forget, this is where we have our Ansible configuration file, and this is where we have the inventory file. So in this directory, I'm going to be running the ad-hoc command. So to do that, I'm going to do Ansible HQS dev1 .technit.com -m, which means module. So like I said, the default module for Ansible whenever you're running the Ansible command is the command module. So if you wish, you can put the command module, and even if you don't put the command module, Ansible software will assume that you are using the command module. But just that we are doing this for the first time, so let's just put the command module. So this is going to be command, and then followed by the argument. And the argument here is uptime. So you can see that for the server HQS dev1, you can see the uptime of the system, and you can see the other information too. 3 users currently logged on. You can see the load average. Also, to see the number of users that are currently logged on, like I just said, of course, you can use the command who. So you can see that we currently have 3 users. Lisa logged on onto this terminal and this terminal, and we also have root logged on onto this terminal. Let's run this command and let's remove the command module. You can see that we have removed the command module, and I'm also going to do this as against all the nodes in the system, or in the inventory file rather. So it's taking its time, so this is fine. So you can see for HQS dev1, we got the same result, and for the local host, which is this host, which is the Ansible control node, which is this, we also got the same result. Okay, here we have Lisa logged in into 3 different terminals. All right. We can also execute this as against group 1. Okay, so we have group 1 in the inventory. So if I do this, this is going to be group 1. And I'm going to do for uptime. So you can see that by default, Ansible is assuming that you're using the command module. We've been able to ascertain this fact. Alright, so you can see that for the HQS dev1.technit.com node, this is the uptime, and for the local host, this is the uptime. There are also other options that you can use with this same ad-hoc command. So for example, if I use the -u option, so this is just an option for the Ansible operation to be executed as the user that is different from the one in the configuration file. So if I specify the user here, for example, I say -u Michael, so I'm saying that Ansible should execute this command as this user and forget the one in the configuration file. All right. So, but don't forget that this user must, however, meet the conditions in the configuration file. And also, you can also use the -become command for the privilege escalation. So, for example, if you don't want to, if you want to overwrite the one in the configuration file, you want to use this dash dash become another user as the escalated privileged user. So this is another option that can be used. You also have the -I option, which will specify that you want to use a different inventory file. All right, so these are different options that can be used. So as usual, I'll be dropping the link to this website, the link to this documentation guide in the description box below, so you can navigate through and see some other things, see the options -U. All right, so there are things that I might have not said in this video, which is in the documentation. So if you wish to check out the documentation, just see the link in the description box below. Let's move more advanced a bit. So we're going to use the Ansible ad-hoc command with the copy module. We are going to use the copy module to create a file and add content to that file. So to do that, we're going to say Ansible all on all nodes, on all managed nodes, then module. This is going to be copy, and argument, the argument for, or the options for the copy module. So I can start with the content. So I'm going to say content, and the content is, so let me just use this one single quote to start the argument. So content, I can just say this is a test file, and destination can be /etc/file1. So we are going to be the one to create this destination file, which is etc file1, and in this destination file we're going to be adding the content. This is a test file. So let's close the argument with this comma as well, with this inverted comma as well, because I opened it with this, so I have to close it too with this inverted comma. If I use double quote here, that means I have to use double quote here too as well. So if I can either use double quote here and use single quote here, or I can either use single quote here or double quote here, whichever one, it does not matter. So it's taking its time to do this. Alright, so when you look at this, you can see that here, you can see that this has been done. So when you run an Ansible command like that, or an Ansible ad-hoc command, you should always look for the colors. So when you see a color which is yellow like this, it means that a change has been done. When you see a color which is red, it means that there is no change and there is an error probably. And when you see a color that is green, it means that like I said Ansible is idempotent. It means that of course the Ansible operation worked, but there was no change, or rather there is no change, and that's because Ansible is idempotent. So whatever change that has been done, if there's a change that has been done before and you execute that command again, it will just tell you that the command has been executed, but everything still remains the same because there was no change, but then the Ansible operation worked. Don't worry, as we go on you would understand better. So when you look at this now, you can see what hqsdev1.technique.com is saying. It's saying that there's a change. Of course, we have some Ansible facts and blah blah blah. And when you scroll down as well, you can also see the local host. You can see that there's a change. And after all, I told you that when you see the color yellow, it means that there is a change or a change has been done. We can verify our changes by logging into the manage node and see that that file has been created. Or we can also use the Ansible ad-hoc, and which is even the smartest way. You can use the Ansible ad-hoc command to also verify. So to do that, I'm going to be having Ansible all. So I told you I'm going to be using the argument. So the argument is going to be cat etc file1. So I'm going to put this This is cut. So it's taking its time. Alright, so you can see that there is a change. When we cut this file for HQS dev 1, we can see that the file is created and this is the content of the file. This is a test file. And for the local host, you can also see that this is the content of the file. This is a test file. And also, you should always look at the return code. So you can see that the return code is 0. And when you have a return code to be 0, so that means that the change was successful. So let's do one more thing. Let's run this command again. It's taking its time. Now you can see that it is green. So like I said Ansible operations are idempotent. Now it's just telling us that fine, there is the Ansible operation worked, but then this operation already existed, and that is why it is showing us this green color. If I run this command again, I can run it as many times as possible, and that is what idempotent means, which is very, very good, and that is what has made Ansible software a very smart software. So no matter how many times you run this command, you will keep getting this green color telling you that, hey, fine, this operation worked, but then we already have these changes made before, and that is why it is green. If it is a new change, you will not see this color green, you will see the color yellow. Okay, so let's do something. Let's create another file. Let's call this etc file 2. All right, so now we've edited file 1 to file 2 here. Now let's do this. I've pressed the enter key and it's taking its time. So you can see that the color is yellow, telling you that the Ansible operation worked and there is a change. A change was made. All right. So, but if you see the color red, that is a danger zone. You should look at your command again. And just like I have said, to know how to use this module or to get more information about this module, you can always use the module man page. So for example, for the copy module, you can do Ansible doc copy. You can see what the module is doing. This is, of course, module copies the file from blah blah blah, and you can see the options. You can see attributes. So which option did we use in this case? We used the destination option. All right, so let's see here. You can see equals test. We use the destination option, and we also use the content option. So you can see that you don't have any issues, just like when you're running your normal command, Linux command. When you're stuck, all you need to do is to check your man page. So the same thing goes with Ansible. When you're stuck, just check the Ansible man page for that module, and then you're fine. So you can see the destination argument here, or option, like I've said, remote absolute path where the file should be copied to. So this is it. And content, which says when used instead of SRC. So of course there's the SRC option. That's what it's telling you. Set the content of the file directly to the specified value. For advanced, blah blah blah. So you can read more about this. Again, let's use the Ansible ad-hoc command with the user module. So this time around, we're going to be creating the user Oyinlola. So Oyinlola is a very good friend of mine. I'm going to actually forward this video to her. So we're going to be creating the username Oyinlola with the user module using the Ansible ad-hoc command. So to do that, of course, we're going to do Ansible all. I'm going to do that on all nodes. And this is going to be the module, and this is going to be user module as against the argument, and the argument is going to be name equals Oyinlola. So you can see that I have the one quote here, and I also have one quote here. So because I'm using only one argument, if I wish, I can leave the quote there, and if I wish, I can also remove the quotes. It doesn't matter. So let's do this. It's taking its time to create the user. All right, so you can see that the user has been created. We have the green the yellow color rather, and you can see the HQSDev1.technique node. You can see that there are changes. You can see that here it is changed, and you can see the user ID. So because we didn't specify all of this in the argument section, it automatically gave it a default user ID. It automatically gave it, of course, a primary group, and it automatically gave it a home directory as well, which is /home/Oyinlola on this node and also on this node as well. So we can confirm that we have this user created, and to do that, of course, we can do Ansible call. I can use the argument module, and I can say ID Oyinlola. So it's taking its time to bring the ID out. Alright, so you can see we have the return code, of course, which is 0. You can see the name on hqsdev1.technique.com. You can see the username Oyinlola, and on localhost you can also see the username Oyinlola. So I'm going to be forwarding this video to Oyinlola. She's my very good friend, actually. So this is how you're going to use the Ansible ad-hoc command. Like I said, I'll be dropping the link to this lesson in the description box so you can look at the class activity, and if you wish you can also glance through the documentation guide. So I mean, you need to get more information to be able to grasp the Ansible ad-hoc command, and if you wish, of course, just run through the documentation guide, and don't forget, like I always say, please subscribe to this channel, like, share and comment. This is how you can help us. This is how you can give back to us. All right, thank you once more, and I'm going to see you in the next lesson. Bye for now.